Hey YouTube, DawesomeRider here with a review of the Ben 10 Omniverse Wave 3 figures review. This review's been a long time in the making. I apologize for how late it is. I had a great deal of trouble finding all these figures in my area. I found Ben and Juryrigged first, and then finally found Kickin Hawk and Kyhber separately. It took me quite a while. I guess my stores here just had a hard time stocking things. But so anyway, the review's finally here, and obviously, I just said who's in the wave. You get Ben with Hoodie, Juryrigged, Kickin Hawk, and Kyhber. And this is obviously the 4-ish inch line. They're a little bit smaller now for the Alien collection. But so anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I didn't have any packaging for it or anything because it's pretty much the same as always, so I didn't want to waste your time. But so here we have Ben with Hoodie, which is pretty much the same exact figure as the regular Omniverse Ben. He just has his hoodie on instead. You do get the skateboard that you get with all Ben figures. This one is painted white with this green color here, which is pretty accurate to Omniverse's color schemes with like the Omnitrix and stuff. But this is the same skateboard that we have been getting for a while with most Ben figures. The figure itself, like I said, is pretty much the same. The head sculpt remains the same. I wish they could have gotten a little bit better of one. I just don't think it's quite as accurate compared to maybe like the 6.5 inch figure, which is the feature figure, has a pretty decent face on it. But here, instead of his shirt that says 10 on it, he gets his hoodie that says 10 on it that he has in the show, which takes a lot of design cues from the Alien Force jacket. But so it looks pretty nice. I do like that hoodie. The paint's all fine. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about it. It's just green and white. You do have his Omnitrix over here, which is still inaccurate because it is silver paint instead of white. Just slightly annoying since this came out around the time they redid the Omnitrix toy to be more accurate. The pants are pretty much the same, same shoes. Like I said, overall same figure, just with a hoodie on. The articulation remains the same, 360 joint here. You get a single elbow joint here. His legs can move forward, and you get a little bit of back movement too, not very much. A single knee joint here. His head can swivel around 360. And no waist articulation, and nothing else really. Pretty standard. He's just overall an okay figure. I mean, it's basically if you like this outfit on Ben better compared to his regular 10 outfit. 10 outfit. That just sounds weird, but his regular getup, which is the 10 shirt. Next we have Juryrigged, who comes with this little figure for the Battle Omnitrix thing. It's just this little red figure of Juryrigged. Looks like he's trying to scare you. Nothing really special. Like I say in these reviews, I'm not going to show it off with the Omnitrix because they all do the same thing because they just fling. So here's Juryrigged. He's actually an alien that premiered in the Ultimate Alien series, but he got a cool redesign for Omniverse, and I actually really like his redesign with this whole sort of pilot thing going on, and I just really like Juryrigged, and I really like this figure. I think they did a really good job on it, like with a lot of the Alien collection figures. It looks like it jumped right out of the cartoon, and I think they did a great job with this guy. I think they captured his personality pretty perfectly on his face. The only slight nitpick I have is I wish they maybe would have made his mouth a little more defined, because sometimes it looks like he doesn't have a mouth. But otherwise, that looks good. All of his outfit looks really good. The green color really pops here. Here as well, and it contrasts nicely off the black. It just looks overall really great, especially since I really enjoy his design, and they did a very good job on this. Like I said, all the colors look good. The Omnitrix down here looks good, nicely painted. You got a little scarf going on here. Not much on the back. You do have a tail that's removable. But yeah, that is pretty good looking. Articulation wise, you do have a 360 arm right here. As you can see, it's more possible over here. It's just hindered by the way that his head is positioned depending on where you have it. You can move it around a little bit, but these tend to hinder it a little bit. His feet can move forward and backward pretty decently. You have a little bit of a knee joint here. You do have an elbow joint here as well. As you saw, the tail can come out, so you can maneuver it if you want to. His head is on a slight little ball joint, so you can get some up and down movement, which is nice, which is not something you get in all Alien Collection figures. And of course, 360 creepy action. But overall, he's a pretty nice figure. I really like him. You got some pretty standard articulation options, but he's got a little bit wider of a range compared to some of them, and he looks really nice. And spoiler, she's probably my favorite from this wave. Next up is Kickin Hawk. Here's his little mini figure. It's actually kind of a cool cross-armed position there. Kickin Hawk is a new alien that has been introduced in Omniverse. I already have his Hyper Alien, so this is like my second figure of him. But so, I really do like Kickin Hawk's design. I think he's a pretty cool alien. For some reason, the figure's only okay for me. I think they did a decent job on it, but I don't know. It's just something about it. I think it's the head sculpt. If you can see here, it's just something about it seems a little bland. Like, I feel like they could have defined his face a little more. Just made it a little more animated, not so bland, like it seems to blend in with things. But otherwise, the colors all seem fine. He's mainly brown. He's got like these green gear type clothes. The Omnitrix is here. Super yellow hands and feet. But he overall looks okay. There's nothing really wrong with his paint job. They got all the colors pretty accurate. Nothing, too spectacular. Articulation-wise, you have the 360 arms here, single elbow joint. His legs can move forward all the way, back all the way, which is kind of nice. Because, like I used to have with Ben, some of them stop right there. Single knee joint here, and his head can move around 360. So, pretty basic, but you do get a little bit wider range of movement in the legs, so you can maybe do some cool stuff with him. But yeah, he's an overall okay figure. He's a decent representation of Kickin Hawk. Like I said, just for some reason, I don't know, he just doesn't stand out quite as much as some others. Like, Juryrigged really looks like he popped out of the cartoon, and this guy's just kind of okay for me, but a solid figure. Then we got Kyhber, and why won't you want to stay now, Kickin Hawk? Kyhber likes to fall over. Instead of coming with a little minifigure of himself or something, Kyhber actually comes with his dog in this sort of gray plastic. Whoops. So that's kind of neat, I guess. But here we have Kyhber. They actually did a pretty good job on this figure. I actually liked it a little more than I thought I was going to for some reason. But just in general, I really do like Kyber's design. I think he's a pretty cool looking villain. They got all the paint on him pretty well done. They did a good job on the details. He's primarily white and black in this sort of bone pattern. You can see there's the Nematrix right there on him. All the paint down here looks fine. He's kind of got a bit of a slant to him, which is kind of cool because it's like his personality. I mean, it's not like it's a mistake and I'm saying it is, but it's just the way he's molded, it fits his personality. His head sculpt's actually better than I thought it was when I looked at pictures. If you can see here, they did a pretty good job on it. Like I said, sort of similar feelings to Kickin Hawk. I feel like they could have maybe animated it a little bit more. I don't know, just give it a little something to make it just a little bit better. But overall, they did a pretty solid job on it. Articulation-wise, you do get your 360 articulation, your single elbow joint. His legs are on a very similar hinge joint here with movements up and back, but his sort of skirt piece here hinders that articulation. You do have the single knee joint here, and his head can rotate around 360. So pretty standard. He's overall a pretty solid figure. But so yeah, overall this is a pretty decent wave with some cool figures. Like I said, Juryrigged's my favorite. I think he looks the best, like he just came out of the cartoon. He's got some great details. Kickin Hawk is a solid figure. Ben's okay, basically, if you just want that outfit. Otherwise, the Ben figure's always okay. And Kyber's a pretty cool figure as well. So I can pretty much recommend most of these if you're a Ben 10 fan and you want to get more figures in the Alien collection. They're all pretty solid figures. Probably the one I would least recommend is this one, just because there's nothing special about that mold in particular, but I do like these three. So yeah, that's about it. I do hope to find Wave 4 sooner than I found Wave 3 and get that review out. I apologize for the wait, but I honestly just couldn't find them. But so yeah, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at Riders, Ranges, and Rambles. Until next time, it's Dawson Ryder, signing out.